Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today, I would like to speak about a subject because there are so many things happening uh, on the news. I call this video the contradiction in Islam, and it is its reflection on the Muslim person. The contradiction of Islam or the Islamic religion and the reflection of that contradiction on the Muslim person or the Muslim people. Okay, let's begin. Number one, in Turkey, the people in Turkey are very, very angry, and they are uh, demonstrating on the street. Why? Because the court in Turkey allowed men to marry girls at the age of 9. This is a crime. And I commend these people who are taking to the street and they are talking against that. But if you take a step back, why are they allowing men to marry 9 years old? Not 8, not 7. Why 9? Because the boss who established Islam, he himself married a 9 years old. So he set the standard. He set the standard of the age of marriage. So if you want to blame, why do you blame the court? It's a Muslim court. It's a Muslim country. Why blame the court? Why don't you blame the person who made this legal first? That was Muhammad. And you ask these people, do you believe in Islam? Sure, I'm Muslim. I'm a devout Muslim. Do you believe in Muhammad? Yes, 100%. 100% he was the messenger of Allah. Then you ask him, was it okay for him to marry a 9-year-old girl? This when the contradiction comes. No, his case was different. He was the prophet of Allah, and therefore his situation was different. He can do that, but we shouldn't. If I come to my children and tell them, do not smoke or do not drink alcohol and drive, let's say, or I have to be an example myself for my children. I have to set the standard. So if I am a smoker, if I smoke, then I have no right to tell my children not to smoke. If I drink alcohol, I have no right to tell my children not to drink. But if I marry a 9 years old girl, can I tell my son not to do that? Absolutely not. And yet Muslim, unfortunately, they cannot see that. And they are demonstrating in Turkey against that. Why? Why do you, why, especially they are mainly women. I understand, it's wrong. But why don't you demonstrate against the person who allowed this from beginning, Muhammad and Islam? Another situation in Malaysia also, The people are taking to the street in demonstration because there was a 41 years old man who married an 11 years old little girl. 11 years. And they're taken to the street in demonstration. And both countries, Turkey and Malaysia, they are asking the court to keep the marriage age not below 18 years old. I agree that should, even in my opinion, even 18 is still too young. 18, I don't think 18 years old is capable of carrying the responsibility of marriage. But anyway, at least 18, because physically the person is, the body has developed, the physical body is mature. So the young man can work hard, the woman is strong enough to bear a child. Okay? But before that, that's a crime. And both countries are basically Muslims. Yes, there are certain percentage of Christian or non-Muslim, but both countries are Muslim. And why is this happening in these countries? Because the boss of the founder of the Islamic thought did that. So unless we deal with the problem in the root, not just put a band-aid on the wound and pretend that the infection is gone. No, you have to disinfect the wound first. And the infection is coming from the thought that Muhammad taught and the way of the life Muhammad lived. His way of life stinks. Plain and simple. Stinks. Take it or leave it. I don't care. Alright? That is two situations practically the same. One in Malaysia and one in Turkey. And it's because of young girls' marriage. And this, you don't see that in a Buddhist country, in a Christian country, in a Jewish country, in a Hindu country, in an atheist country, only Muslim countries. Why? The boss who established this religion committed the same atrocity. Okay? Linked to that, there's a man, also he is a Turkish man. His name is Adnan Ahmed. He been arrested because he did like Muhammad. He is a Muslim clerk. He's a scholar. And he became famous. And at certain point, I believe, he didn't say that, but I believe he figured out that Muhammad used his charisma to have sexual relationship with the finest and the prettiest women around him. So this guy did the same thing. And I saw him on the news. He's sitting and these beautiful, four women, by the way. At least he didn't do like Muhammad. Muhammad had 13 wives. This guy had 4. And they seem to be girlfriends. And they are really attractive women. Young, healthy, attractive women. They are dancing in front of him in a very erotic way. So the government of Turkey arrested him and the women with him. And my question, do you see the contradiction? Muhammad did the same thing, and you say about the women surrounding Muhammad, the mothers of faith. And you arrest these women and this man and put them in jail. Why? He's doing what Muhammad did. Why do you put him in jail? Contradiction. Contradiction. The third contradiction I noticed is, by the way, the lady, the president of Croatia, the soccer team of Croatia defeated England. And the president of Croatia is a woman. She was in the stadium. When her team won, when the Croatian team won, she danced in the stadium in front of everybody. That does not mean that she is a whore or a prostitute. No. Dancing is a language of happiness for the body, to express happiness. I'm saying that because Iran arrested a young girl, 20 years old girl, because she posted a short video of her dancing a beautiful dance on Instagram by herself. A young girl dancing. They forced her to apologize on public TV first, and then they arrested her and put her in jail. And the consequence of that, I mean, do you know what the many women? Muhammad had 13 wives. Some say 13, some say 11, some say 9. Anyway, he liked the odd number. He was on the odd side. So, whatever. He tells the people, his followers, you can have 4 maximum. Why don't you live up to the standard that you put? Take 4 maximum. No, I'm different. I'm the prophet. I'm the messenger of Allah. I take more. I can handle more. You guys are not as strong as I am. I will do more. So, do we know what these women were doing with Muhammad? Maybe they were dancing for him like this Muslim clerk Adnan Akhtar, the 4 beautiful women dancing for him, and I don't know, maybe he used to have orgy with them later on. The same thing with Muhammad. He used to have sexual relationship with 9 women at once, because they say he washed only once. That means they were having an orgy all together. Why you arrest this Muslim clerk in Turkey and you let Muhammad go? Why? They are doing the same thing. Okay? Why this young girl in Iran has to be arrested for dancing? She wants to dance, she's free to dance. She didn't hurt anybody. She put her video on Instagram. If you think this is bad or immoral, don't look at it, don't watch it. Okay? There are many bad things on the internet. What does that have to do with me? If it is not my cup of tea, I don't need to go there. I'm not going to say, oh, you can do that, you can dance like this, you can do whatever. Things that it does not agree with my moral standard, let's say. I cannot tell people what to do. If I don't like it, hey, turn it off. It's not for me. Okay? But look what happened. This is contradiction, because the natural expression of the human body, when you are happy, you want to dance, you want to jump. Okay? And the president of Croatia, when her team won, she danced. And it's not because she has bad intention in her head. No, she's happy. And when you're happy, you dance. Okay? But look what happened when this young girl danced and they forced her to give public apology on public TV and then put her in jail. Many men and women in Iran posted dancing videos. This reminds me of the cartoon, the guy who made the cartoon about Muhammad, and he had a turban on his head like a bomb, and the Dutch guy, and he made him with the little young girl and uh, looking at her sexually and stuff like that, and people became so angry. Muslim people in all over the world became so angry at this man, and they wanted to shut him up and shut all the newspaper that they have anything to do with this man. What happened after that? There was in Texas a competition. I think it was arranged by Pamela Galler and what's his name, Robinson. Anyway, uh, I forgot the name. Uh, Two people, and they had a competition for people who can mock Muhammad most. And many people came with a very creative ideas to mock Muhammad. Some made videos, some made more cartoons, some made all kind of stuff. And they had this competition in Texas, the state of Texas, in the United States. And that was a very wise selection because Texas is a state that as long as you're 18 you can carry firearm, and all the people who went to participate in that event, it was an open carry. For those who are familiar with the firearms, you have concealed carry and open carry. Concealed, that means you put your gun, hide it either under your shirt or something. You pull it out only when it is needed, but it should be covered. This is Most people do that. However, some people like to carry it visible. In Texas, you can carry it either way. You are free to do either way. And these people went to the event carrying their guns openly. And we have the Muslim clerks and the Muslim mafia coming to stretch their muscles there and to fight. Fight with who? Fight with who? Thousands of people, each one carrying his gun. They turned to sheep and they left. They know one thing, these Muslim fanatic who want to establish Sharia law like Muhammad. You show them force, they retreat. Muhammad spread his message by force. And to really combat this, you have to show strength. That does not mean you shouldn't be forgiving. Forgiveness is one thing. And to show dedication and strength to stop this creepy ideology is another. So, talk from the position of strength, not weakness. And then this ideology will collapse. The final part I would like to speak of is actually because I received a video about we have nowadays. I said before that the greatest calamity came to Islam is the internet. So some Muslim clerks are trying to take advantage of that internet by trying to demonstrate that Quran and Islam is a miracle from God. So they bring any subject, whatever they want, and they tell you NASA discovered, or there was a study done in a Western university, very prominent university, and they proved that the Prophet did this and this and said that and that, and this is absolutely true. So they are trying to look for something to legitimize the ideology of Islam as a religion. So that video that I received is to justify or to try to tell me that Quran is a miracle from God. Okay. And the same story. NASA made how do you say a research. NASA did a research and they found from space that the area where the olives is planted, it glows, and that glow is also seen if you eat the olive oil or olives, is seen on the skin but not with the naked eyes. And because Muhammad mentioned olive in the Quran, he knew the value of olives. He also mentioned the figs. What did they find about the figs? Nothing. He actually mentioned the figs before the olives. But again, they are trying to find something in Islam and in Quran to legitimize this nonsense. So they tell you NASA or a study made in a very prominent university in the West. They don't tell you who made who did that study, who in NASA discovered this glowing color, and what did he discover under the skin of human who use olive oil, and why they didn't put that in public to the public to know. No, they don't want you to know, and if they say that, then people will automatically be attracted to the Quran and Islam. So they don't want people to know that. It's a nonsense. It is just living in an illusion. That's a contradiction. If you take a step back and think about what you are saying, this contradicts logic. Islam is a contradictory religion. Even the way it is put together in the Quran, if you read the Quran, it is a most confusing book on earth. I'm not saying that because I don't believe in Islam, but as a book, as a book, it's so confusing. Because normally if you read a book, it has like an introduction to the book, what this book is all about. The writer tries to give you an idea, what am I about? What is my story about? So in the introduction, the writer prepares the reader what is coming. And then the body of the book, the presentation of the thoughts of the writer, and then the conclusion. Then you have like a train of thought. When you are reading, you can follow the steps. Quran is not like that. Quran is, because Muhammad used to, whatever he remembers from the stories about the Christian he heard from the Christian and the Jews and the other religions in Arabia at this time. He will put one piece from the east, and then he will stick one with it from the west, something from the north and another one from the south, and he puts it together. So when you read the Quran, you will find that, you will find like he starts talking about, let's say, uh, Moses in the Old Testament, and then he will start talking about hell, or the or how heaven looks like and how many women will be waiting for you there. And then he will change and speak about Abraham, or about Jesus. And there is no connection between this, that, or nothing. So you read that book and you feel, where am I? What am I supposed to learn here? And unfortunately, I would dare to say 99% of the Muslim people read this book just reading. None of them stops, because they get the idea that this is a holy book. So they do not even question, they don't question whether it is, what is holy in this book. They don't question, they just read it, blah, 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 and that's it. They have no idea what it says. Just read it. And if you see a person reading Quran, stop that person and ask him, what was the subject you are reading about? He wouldn't be able to tell you. He wouldn't, because there is no train of thought. When you are reading certain subjects, even you may not really remember the last part you were reading if somebody stops you, but you know what the whole book is about. Okay? No, Quran is not like that. You read it and you get confused. So they read it without understanding. That causes contradiction in the life of the Muslim. So Muslim people actually are living in an illusion, and they repeat things, and there is contradiction in what they say and the practice. And you see that in the demonstration in Malaysia and in Turkey. They are demonstrating against marrying the little girls too early when they are 9. In Malaysia, the girl was 11. But why you don't demonstrate against Muhammad, who married a 9 years old? Why? They can't see that. They can't see that. It is, I actually, in a way, I feel sorry for them. But I am also grateful that I came out of that nonsense. Thank you very much. And please, if you have any comments, let us know. Let me know, and share. Thank you.